There is a vulnerable, undefined space that exists between the onset of a crisis and its eventual resolution. We call it the wait. Inside this period, facts are scarce. You lack a timeline, an outcome, or a clear sense of the final cost. This total vacuum of information is where uncertainty begins to take root. This is anticipatory anxiety. Encountering a blank space in the future, the brain attempts to fill it with a worst-case scenario. This isolating whisper works to convince you you're alone, separating you from your support systems. Fear manipulates your focus, pulling attention away from current facts onto a fabricated certainty. It repeats a single prediction: something is going to go wrong. We often accept this prediction as absolute truth before any evidence actually exists. We begin mentally navigating a disaster that hasn't happened yet. Unchecked fear enforces a state of emotional paralysis in the present, dictating your current reality based on a future that is still undecided. Breaking that paralysis requires a conscious intervention. This sharp boundary is where the tangled lines of anxiety meet the orderly patterns of a deliberate choice. When fear whispers that you are alone, the most effective response is a hard stop. You have to actively interrupt the spiral before it completes its cycle. Intercepting a thought pattern means recognizing the moment you start projecting a negative outcome and refusing to let that narrative reach its conclusion. Fear insists something will go wrong. Faith counters this by asserting something good is already moving. It's a calculated shift in perspective, focusing on potential rather than dread. To understand this, look at this cross-section. The top gear is stationary, but beneath the surface, massive gears are rotating, building tension. Faith trusts this unseen momentum. These hidden mechanics constantly transfer energy upward, preparing the situation to advance. While fear freezes you in place by focusing on the stationary surface, trusting this subsurface momentum provides a stabilizing, quiet strength. This shift is difficult because it requires you to accept that the full picture of your situation is currently hidden from your view. By choosing to believe the gears of a positive outcome are already turning, you transform your internal state from one of frozen dread to one of active readiness. Steady, grounding tone. This internal readiness becomes durable only when you translate it into a tangible, physical act. Writing down a single line serves a specific purpose. It takes a fragile mental thought and converts it into a permanent physical anchor in the real world. The line reads, "What I'm waiting for is still coming." This phrasing acknowledges the reality of the wait while simultaneously asserting that the conclusion is inevitable. This written anchor creates a tether for the mind. When uncertainty returns, the paper serves as objective evidence of the choice you made to expect a positive outcome. This anchor supports the daily practice of walking by faith, the process of moving forward into your routine despite unresolved circumstances. As you walk, the definition of the miracle begins to change. It is often framed as an external event that happens at the end of the wait. However, the shift in your expectation is the actual point of origin. The moment you successfully overwrite an instinct for dread with a posture of hope, the miracle has already initiated within your mind. Controlling your expectation transforms the waiting period into an active, intentional process. You are no longer a passive observer of your fear, but a participant in the arrival of your own miracle.